on this light here. Alright, hey, hello YouTube. I'm just going to make this a reminder video. We've talked about this before. Just to let you guys know, if you guys have not been watching the news in the last week or so, Davenport had an apartment collapse recently. They're still looking for some, as of this, I'm making this video, they're still looking for some victims in that, and there's an apartment complex. It's really unsafe right now because due of a witness of the collapse. It made local news, it made regional news, it probably made possibly some national news. If you guys heard about it, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm going to go with this, alright? If you're planning to rent, you guys need to remember this, alright? Okay, as you know where I'm going with this. Renter's insurance. Yes, it is important you have it. This is an updated video on this issue. Whereas in some states it's required by law. Where if you're a renter, you gotta have renter's insurance. Now where we live and a couple of complexes that this company owns, they're requiring to see if you have renter's insurance and that. It's very important to have renter's insurance because what happens to those people down in Davenport with the building collapse here in Davenport, Iowa, in the past week or so, and of course I'm making this video right now. Why I'm making this video right now is because I'm finding out through the small talk, not through media. Maybe media played a role in this, but I heard some talk tonight where basically none of the people had renter's insurance. And if that's the case, the building owner who insures their building will never cover for your stuff. Now, this is an update video, alright? Just to let you guys know, this is an update video. Oh, by the way, I'm cooking something on the air fryer. In case that blows up as a technical issue, I can still collect on whatever we own in this apartment. Yeah, as long as it's not arson. Intentional arson. Accidental, yes. Arson, no. Oh, before I forget, if arson was caused by a neighbor who moved out, thinking that if we can't rent here, nobody will type attitude, yes, we're talking about them. They will commit something like arson if they figure if they can't rent here, no one will. And they have nothing to lose except maybe some jail time, possibly, if they get caught. And if you're going to do it with an apartment that has a YouTube channel, that's not a very smart idea. Anyway, if you guys remember, a few years ago, we had a situation down below us. A few years ago, it was titled, "We Had an Emergency." That was when the tenants accidentally left the stove on and was cooking and had a smoky fire. And it created smoke damage throughout the apartment complex and all that stuff on our half of the building. And maybe the other half of the building probably has some smoke damage. But it wasn't enough. We only calculated less than $500 worth of damage. Mostly smoke stuff. And it's usually most stuff, it just needs air fresheners and all that stuff. It was back fine. Maybe a replacement of a mattress here and there. Maybe some pillows and that. Otherwise, we didn't have much damage at all. Just the inconvenience of the smoke. Now, that would have fire would have went up and through our apartment floor and hit our apartment. Yeah, and that. I'm going to tell you right now what we have for our coverage. It is the smallest coverage we can get for a decent price. Okay, this is what we got. We have $30,000 worth of coverage with a $500 deductible. Now, the $500 deductible is designed for one thing, so you don't commit arson. because it's about the price. The $500 deductible we always had when we used to live down south in the town. So basically, we had renter's insurance in the south of the town because of an incident that happened, and we found out the hard way that if that fire would have been out of control, we would have lost everything, and we would have had to replace everything out of pocket, which is not good. So we decided to get renter's insurance. It wised us up for Angie and I to get renter's insurance after that little incident down there. And of course, the landlord was not happy that we put out the fire because they wanted to collect on their insurance. But the problem was, we would have lost everything. It was not the risk I was going to take. That's why I put the fire out myself. We did call the fire department to make sure the fire was out and all that stuff. Everything was hunky-dory. We decided from that day on to get renter's insurance from the final couple years we lived down there to here. We still have the same renter's insurance, same policy. Just that we transferred from one address to this address, and it's very important you guys talk to your agent about that. If you're going to be renting from one apartment building to another, make sure it's portable. What it means is portable, going from one location, from location A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here we go with the ABCs. How about that? Okay, I'm just going to let you guys know what the property owners do insure. The building, they insure this refrigerator, except the magnets on it, and they insure the stove. They insure the cabinets, but not what's inside the cabinets. Same with those cabinets. They also insure all the plumbing and all that stuff. Anything we do out of us, if we intentionally damage it, we gotta pay it and that. If we damage it ourselves. Oh, by the way, we own the deep freeze. We own the deep freeze. They don't own that. But the deep freeze is in case I want to add extra items in there, like ice cream and all that stuff, extra meat products. In case the regular freezer is full, then we put extra stuff in our deep freeze. Then our renter's insurance covers for that. Our renter's insurance covers for everything that we own in the building, on the patio, except for the patio. But we own and all that stuff. Now, unfortunately, don't know what happened to the apartment building down in Davenport. If most of those tenants have renter's insurance, they're pretty well covered. And the ones think that they're not covered and thinking they got an easy lawsuit against the property management and owners of that building, good luck, because it's not going to happen. If you don't have renter's insurance, the lawsuits are going to be tougher to deal with. But always seek your attorney on that issue when it comes to what renter's insurance is, what you are supposed to be covered, which we have renter's insurance. We cover what we own. We don't cover the building. Only the property manager and owners has their own insurance, which is protected their building and what they own in the apartment building, which is the refrigerator, stove, cabinets, whatever we use. Anything inside those cabinets, we have to cover. Anything outside, we have to cover. Anything, all the property stuff own, you got to cover it. Okay. Now, in some states, like I said, one of the states I did mention in the previous video was the state of New Jersey. The state of New Jersey does require, by law, it's by law, that if you're renting an apartment complex, you are required to have renter's insurance. Now, when the new owners took over this property, our current owners took over this property about a year and a half or so ago, the one question they ask everybody, do you have renter's insurance? They want to know who's your company with. So we told them all that information. And they said they're fine. They're okay with it. How long we've been with them. How was it portable from one apartment complex to another? It just lets them know who we're dealing with when it comes to renter's insurance on our end. And it's very important in that. So when you think about renting an apartment, if you're renting an apartment and you say, you know what, I'm going to be an idiot. I'm going to make sure that the property owners insure everything I own. Not happening. It will never happen. Because you know why? It is your responsibility, and it's very inexpensive. It's like a price of a CD. At the time when I mentioned in the previous video, I talking about this issue. It was the price of a CD. Basically like a Blu-ray movie CD. And all that stuff. It's going to set you back about this price is going to vary from state to state, agent to agent. Ours was about the price of $18, $19, maybe $20 a month as of right now. I think it's around, because we have two different insurance on that. Angie has a different insurance that she has, which I'm not part of it. But the renter's insurance for us is around $18, $19 a month. And that covers, that gives us $30,000 of coverage with a $500 deductible. And that's our insurance, basically. But we will talk about the issues about a building collapse and all that stuff. But always, when there's something involved with an apartment complex, always talk to your agent about it if you are renting. Doesn't matter if you're renting an apartment or a house. If you're renting a house, get renter's insurance. It is probably your best idea, your best investment, because if something happens and if you're not covered, you're out of everything. That means out of pocket. Big time out of pocket, out of your pocket. Well, make sure you have a deductible that's out of your pocket, and make sure you're covered the rest of the way. Don't do anything stupid on top of that either. Okay, we're just going to sum it up right here. Renter's insurance is different than homeowner's insurance. So if you're a homeowner insurance, if you live, let's say, in like Tornado Alley and all that stuff, just like renter's insurance, it varies from prices month to month. But renter's homeowner's insurance is different. So talk to your the difference between renter's insurance and homeowner's insurance. If you own a home, you need homeowner's insurance. If you're a renter, you need renter's insurance and all that. So and we had renter's insurance since 2005, I think it was. I'll have to check the policy on that one. I know we had it for at least a year or two before we moved up here. And we had renter's insurance since we've been here and that. And sometimes, even we had a small little incident below us a few years ago. But sometimes it is a good idea to have one. Like I said, the property owners are going to protect their building and their stuff, not your stuff. If you think I'm wrong on this, try it. Because, like I said, there's court cases that will just throw your case out really fast unless you have what we call a pussy judge. And maybe a pushy lawyer, too, on top of that. And just want to blame somebody else for probably your mistake. And that. Make no mistake. Get renter's insurance. It's probably best you have it. Regardless how many apartment collapses, fires, whatever we see here on YouTube or in the news, make sure if you're going to rent if you're going to protect your stuff, like your computers and all that stuff, make sure you have renter's insurance. Like I said, some states it is a law. New Jersey is one of those states. I talked about it in previous videos and that. And of course, with our new ownership that took over this property about a year and a half ago, they asked all the tenants, who's your insurance provider when it comes to renter's insurance, because they want to know who has renter's insurance and who doesn't, because the ones who doesn't are not going to be covered whatever what happens. If it's tornadoes, floods, fires, building collapses, E.T. decided to land his spacecraft onto the building a little bit too hard, and other issues, and maybe arson on somebody else's end, not your end, better not be on your end. They felt they got evicted. They figured, well, if I don't live here, nobody's not going to live here. We're going to burn the place down. No, it's not going to happen. That's why we have deductibles. It protects you from that too. That could be a harmful thing. And if it was, usually if it's on our end, accidental fires is one thing. Intentional fires is another thing. There's a fine line between that. So talk to your insurance industry on that, because if they say it was arson and you're in, you're not covered. You're going to be denied. But if it's accidental, then there's a chance you may be covered. If it's done by somebody else, then you will be covered. But if you make sure, when you get renter's insurance, make sure you know your coverage and what you are insuring. You're only insuring your stuff. You're not insuring the building. You're not insuring the refrigerators and stove. You're only insuring your stuff. Only stuff you own when you rent. And remember, renter's insurance is different than homeowner's insurance. If I own a home, we'd be talking about something different on that. But we don't own a home, we rent, so we're talking about renter's insurance. If you want to find out more information on both kinds of insurance, always talk to your insurance agent in your area. It is very important on that, because if we're going to see more building collapses. We're going to see tornadoes destroying apartments. We're going to see fires, whatever, wildfires. We had a case of wildfires. We don't know how many buildings went up in flames and who rented and all that stuff. So all that could happen. So it's always the best to find the right coverage for your needs. Ours is $30,000. Ours is $30,000 coverage with a $500 deductible. We pay approximately $18 to $20 a month. That's what we pay, and we have one extra insurance, which is not that much. Angie has another insurance. It's called a disability insurance in case she gets in an accident or something like that. She had that for years, and we never lost that one. I never got on it. Maybe I should. All right, we're out of here. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the notification bell. We'll talk to you tomorrow.